I'd like to say welcome. Um, I know Gina would want this to be a happy occasion. I know that.
They can't hear you in the back.
Okay.
Is it on?
Yes, it's on. It's on.
Yeah.
Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay.
Get your mouth a little closer.
Like that? Okay. My first time with a mic. Gina would want this to be a happy occasion, and this is what we're building on, because she was a wonderful woman and a very happy woman. She's very cheerful. We're here to pay our respects to her. Now, usually in a funeral we say last respects, but as long as there's a Native American person, when they speak of Gina Williamson, it will be with respect. That's one thing the Cherokees believe in, is respect. We respect one another, we respect the tribe, we respect the chief, we respect our elders. I'd like to read the obituaries. Okay, Gina Williamson, chief of the United Cherokee Anahuia Nation, is survived by her husband Leon Williamson, her brother Jack Mosley, Jacob Henson, Joshua Henson, stepdaughter Karen Masters, stepsons John Williamson and Jimmy Williamson, sister Mona Lee Master, brothers Dale Mosley and Kenny Mosley, along with Jack, and grandchildren Joseph Williamson, Corey Masters, Carson Masters, Leon Williamson III, Connor Williamson, Noah Williamson, Alec Williamson, and Peyton Henson. At this time, we want to have the flute player come up and do amazing, and we're going to sing Amazing Grace. Is that for you? Gina was a very spiritual woman. I'm thankful that the Lord is blessed to, when I think about a person, to find them in the Scriptures. I want to read from Luke chapter 10, verse 38. Now it came to pass as they went that he entered into the certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word. But Martha was cumbered about with much serving, and came to him and said, Lord, dost thou not care that my sister hath left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me. And Jesus answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and cumbered about many things, but one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her. I mentioned Gina was a very warm and loving person. She was busy. I tell everybody, all my friends that want to know about the chief, I tell them, right now at this moment, either she's asleep or she's helping somebody. And that's the way Gina was. I see Gina in both of these women because the way she served was with a spiritual serving. She was a very spiritual person, a very loving person. And whatever she didn't do it out of duty, and definitely not for filthy lucre's sake, for money. She did it because of love. And that's the thing about Gina that I most remember, is the love that she had for her people. And not only her people, but just spiritual people in general. She and I had many sweet conversations at the tribal house and talked about many things that were much blessing to me about family and about the things that she saw for the tribe and about the future of the tribe, and wanting the tribe to be here and want the people to follow the way. And to be a Cherokee is a whole lot more than just dressing up in regalia. It's a heart thing. It's something that comes from our very hearts. I've talked to people before that's talked about, well, you know, I feel it, but not all the time. I feel that need to be one with nature, or that desire to do some kind of crafts. But most of all, Gina had that desire to love her tribe. And that was the thing that I'll most remember about her. I want to read from the book of 1 Corinthians now, chapter 13. So, though I speak with the tongue of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. Now, we think about verses like this. We talk about, though I speak with the tongues of men, you know, we could talk about Alabama football, in Gina's case, Auburn football. Or she could talk about spiritual things. Now, whenever we turned away from spiritual things and talked about football, the Lord did not cast us off. We're still His children. He still blesses us and gives us what we call this life and it more abundantly. One of the things that I've always, when I was a little boy, I used to watch Tonto. I didn't care about Ranger. He was kind of fancy, but I preferred the buckskin and all that. I've always been drawn to that. And I used to think maybe I belong in a mental institution somewhere. But then I found this tribe, and we're all of like mind, and we all feel it, and it's felt from the heart. But this thing of love, you know, we speak with the tongues of men and of angels. And though I have the gift of prophecy, and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, and have not charity. I want to explain about charity. In the natural world, in the white man's world, excuse me.
Call it what it is.
In the white man's world, in the natural world, the carnal world, the world that has no faith, the opposite of love is hate. But in the spiritual realm, the opposite of love is selfishness. And this is one thing that I believe that Gina had, was that love. And it was a giving love. I was sitting up one night talking to a friend. It was about midnight, and we were talking about the tribe and about the Indian life. And I said, you know, one thing about my chief, if she's awake right now, she's doing something for somebody. She's helping a family. She's helping somebody in need. And this is that love I'm talking about. It's not a carnal, natural love, but it's a spiritual love. And it's a love that can only be given her and us by the Creator. And she's been blessed as well as us. And she was that example. That's one thing about a chief, is she's to be the example. The Bible talks about the elder of the church, supposed to be an example of believers. And Gina was a grand example to us of how we're to conduct ourselves and how we're to share. And most of all, how we're to love the way the Bible tells us to. And it's something that comes from the heart. Now, I want to read some more from this. I know Gina would want this to be a happy occasion. I know that.